absolutely soaking and covered in oil. It's, jeez, I fucking shit myself. There's a fucking butterfly in here. What's happening, troops? It's been a week. I've not done very much. I did come down. I was going to do a Spec Talk car walk video, show you everything that I've done to my car, but instead it's going to be a fixing video. Now, if you'd watched the last one, you'll know that my turbo oil return is leaking. Hopefully you can see all the oil on the manifold. I do have a helicoil kit to fix that, as it's one of the threads in the turbo, I presume, because the bolt won't tighten. Helicoil kit. The other interesting thing that I noticed, because it was going to be a Spec Talk car walk, when I looked underneath to look at my new coilovers that had been fitted, they appear to be absolutely soaking and covered in oil, which can only be coilover oil, because there's no other reason why there'd be oil there. So I'm not quite sure what's happened here. It seems a bit weird. So yeah, I'm gonna whip those out and we're gonna have a look at them on the bench, and then I'm probably gonna send Gaz an email tomorrow and be like, are these supposed to be like this? And if you say yes, I don't believe you. So we have the coilovers off. I have cleaned them with a brake cleaner and I can see why they've been leaking. If I can zoom in there with my hand, you can see the marring on that piston, and if I scroll this round, you can see the marring on that piston, but it doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because there's zero marks on the boxes. You know, if they were hitting the boxes that I'd made, then you would expect to see scrape marks on the boxes, but there's none. I'll show you. So, if I get this under here. So, if anywhere they were going to hit there as the panhard rod moves over, zero scrapes. Well, definitely shouldn't hit that, but it's going to be bad with the shadow. Zero scrapes. Go that way. I'll turn my screen back on. Zero scrapes. And just for good measure, I don't know if you can see that because I can't see my screen, but zero scrapes. And then, if we jump into the top, if anywhere they would hit there, zero scrapes. And this side, turn your head upside down, I can't get my camera the other way, zero scrapes. So if it was an issue on my end, you would expect to see some transfer marks from the springs on the boxes, but there isn't. So I've got no idea. I mean, the marring's at the very bottom, so is there potential that the valving's off and they're overextending? Because I don't think they weren't leaking oil, because I'd had a quick check. The first twice I'd been out, both times I was on hard or 8 clicks off hard. Now the last time I went out I was full soft, blazing it. So are they too soft? Have they got not thick enough in oil? And they're literally bottoming out and just smashing the chrome sort of piston part right into the bottom of the coilover? I've got no idea, but I'm going to send a message tomorrow, and then moving on from this video, because it's too late for me to do anything else tonight, whip the turbo off and fix that. I'm waiting on some gaskets turning up. Take some caster out. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of wanting to get these coilovers fixed before I go drifting, which is on the 27th. We are on the, let me check, 14th now, Monday. So I'll let you know what's happening. So I thought I'd save you the boring part of taking the turbo off. The turbo is now off. You can see the, I'll put a light on this. You can see where the oil's been leaking there, all down there. There's loads on the engine block as well. I'm quite surprised that the T3 gasket's still intact, considering none of the bolts were overly tight. Like, I'm going to say not tight. So yeah, let's one turbo. So screen back on. Don't know if you'll be able to see in there, but there's definitely threads in that one, and there's definitely not any threads in that one. I know you probably can't see that, but yeah, there's definitely no threads in the one that I thought there was no threads in. So probably get to the drilling, I reckon, and we'll see what happens with this. Try and hold the turbo in such a way that it doesn't fall on the floor while I'm drilling it. What I did happen to notice while taking my turbo off is I noticed, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. See the wee black? I'll go put my camera here. No, that makes it worse. See the wee black, like, blob on the runner for the wastegate, the one that goes round and down? There's a wee crack, and I don't know, I definitely won't be able to show you it with the camera until I take it off. I can see it better that way. See right in the middle of the camera, the wee sort of run? Well, there's a wee crack. You might be able to see it there, maybe not. So yeah, gonna have to take the manifold off as well and get that fixed. I've like totally brutalised this manifold. It's been welded on the wastegate previously, because I ripped the wastegate sort of dump tube off when I hit a speed bump when it was on the road 4 years ago, and it got welded back on again. And obviously it's, jeez, I fucking shit myself. There's a fucking butterfly in here. Aye, take the manifold off. One turbo, one manifold, one oil return. You can see how much oil was leaking from the oil return. It's actually a lot more than what I thought when we were drifting. I mean, I lost a half a dipstick, so like a half a litre maybe, but I was like, it's only dripping a wee bit, you only get the odd puff of smoke, but the block's covered. So I was kind of going to take the manifold off anyway so that I could clean all the oil off, and then the next time I go out, if I have an oil leak, I'll know, rather than everything just being covered in oil and me going, oh well, it's just from the last time. But yeah, it gives me two reasons why now, because there's definitely a crack in here. I will see if I can get a better little, if you look, oh, it's really tricky to show you. Obviously that is probably, even for the best of people, the hardest bit to get into. But I was thinking about this when taking it off. I wonder if that's cracked because I put the wee bracket on 2 videos prior, not the drifting video, the one before that, when I was doing some prep. I put a wee bracket on here to stop this sort of wangling about as much, because this ends up moving and then it goes through the V-belt. I wonder if that's why it's cracked, because I've put a bit of strain on it, or because I've put a, well, my mate Crispy with the Supra said you should really put a mount on the block, because obviously if I put a mount on the chassis but the block moves independent of the chassis, then there's risk that you can crack something, which I'm going to blame myself on this one. Well, I can't blame anybody else but me, so yeah, I'm going to have to take the heat on this. But nah, it's alright. I can clean the block, I'll get the light and I'll show you how much oil is everywhere. It's a shame too, it's premium grade Valvoline 1060. I've actually paid reasonable money for that. Not that it really matters, it's oil. But yeah, you can see, I'll turn my screen on so I know you can see, but you can see on here all the oil. Now I think that's from this. I mean, it's quite sort of everywhere, so I'm presuming it's from the oil return leaking down the tube and then just ending up all over the gearbox and stuff. So yeah, that's, oh, look what, that's amazing what things you find. The power steering bolt's not in. It does blow your mind, the stuff that you find sometimes. That's class. For the bracket, that's amazing. Probably change the oil filter while I'm here, because it's a bit of a bastard to get into, so I might as well. And while I'm looking here, I can see, and they're alright, they're fine. The wee hockey pucks are doing alright as well. Yeah. Let's stand the manifold up the other way and stick the turbo on it and see if it would actually fit. The new turbo, obviously, not the old one. We know the old one fits. Just while I'm flip this over, that is definitely a better way to look at it. It's tiny as well, it is tiny. I tell you, I thought I would get a quick look at this and it's turned into, well, I'll just spin the housing. Now, most housings are bolts. This is a massive circlip, like a huge circlip, which I used the biggest pair of plumber's pliers I've got for, because it's got the wee ears on it. But it's proving rather difficult to get back on. So I'm going to have to persevere with this while wrecking all the paint. that is fine. We will chip away. So, one thread drilled, or one hole drilled. The other one, I know you're not going to be able to see it, but the other one's been drilled as well. I decided to do them both because one side had no threads. I ran an M8 tap down at first to see if any of the threads cleaned up, but nah, there's nothing there. The other side, the threads were kind of, you could see bits were missing in certain places, so I just thought, you know what, I'll just helicoil them both and then that's them done. So yeah, both drilled. Now just to tap them and helicoil them, but I need to get the manifold welded. I'm also waiting on a gasket for the oil return, so it's not like I'm in a mad rush. I've not used a helicoil kit in ages, so I'm probably just gonna go home. But I will catch you on another day, which will be the same video, doing more stuff. So yeah, what's happening, trips? Another day in the office. So, the story. I paid for my coilovers to be posted on Tuesday lunchtime to the cost of £52. They should have been collected on Wednesday and delivered by next game day, 9 AM. So Thursday, Friday latest, at least in the morning. Guys would get a look at them during the day and then potentially send them back Monday and see them before Christmas. It was all a bit tight for time, but I thought I'll just pay the most amount of money that I can in the hope that they actually get there. So they collected them from my work on Tuesday, because they collect stuff from my work all the time. So they collected them sort of a day early, a few hours early. And I thought, great, even more chance of them getting done and them coming back. So Wednesday goes by, Thursday goes by, and I'm like, this is strange. I phones them on Thursday afternoon. Where's my parcel? Where is it? Where's it been delivered to? Because it says delayed in transit. And I'm thinking, it's a bit weird. So the woman on the phone says, yeah, so they've been delivered to Manchester. Now they were going down to Basildon in London to Gaz. So I'm unsure why they've taken them to Manchester. It's very strange. So she goes, oh, well, you know, we'll get a manager to phone you back, blah, 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 because I hit her with a, I'm not very happy about this. Quality premium service is not the best. So another day goes by, no phone call. A couple of emails from TNT saying to me, oh yeah, they're in Manchester, we're going to arrange collection, blah, blah, blah. Now at this point, it's Friday. I'd already phoned Manchester and asked them if they had them, and they said 100% definitely not. So I'm like, strange. So I don't quite know where my parcel is, to be honest. They are trying to find it, but let's be serious, they're not gonna find it. Luckily, I hummed and hawed about paying the £17.50 for the insurance, but I did, luckily, because I'd only got 50 quid back rather than the full value of them back. So yeah, it looks like, oh come on, I'm just trying to take the battery out of this. Come on! Because we're gonna have to take the green bomber out on the 27th, which is all right. I mean, one of my mates is also taking his bash car out, so I suppose at least I'll have somebody to crash into. Not really what I wanted, but I've not had the green bomber out in ages, so take the battery out of this, make sure the green bomber starts. Whoops, that's that off. Pump up the tyres, and put some 16s. Oh Jesus, this is a disaster. Yeah, put some 16s on rims and go skidding in the green bomber. But I will have to dig it out from the grass because it's a bit of an ornament here. It's a shame because I was hoping I wasn't going to use it for that long, that the nettle might go higher than the roof, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, so yeah, let me put this battery in and then we'll get the screwdriver out and see if this starts. Let's check the earth. Yeah. Oh. That or the battery's flat, one of the two. Aye. Screw that one a bit tighter. Let's try this again. Come on. The fire's making some smoke. Maybe the battery's just really flat. Or the starter motor's seized because it's not been turned in that long. That's maybe the positive. I know this battery's good because this is the battery that came out of this and it was used in the Volvo, so. Gotta love a Beamer. Woo! Party town. Right, let's get the pump out and pump up the tyres because they are flat, and then probably get the grinder out and reshape the wings. Fucking hell. Oh, well, we got it out of the grass. This car's seen a lot of shame. Feels like a tyre's flat, but it's not. Oh. Tidy. Gonna have to sort these wings. But yeah, I'll take it a run up the lane. Take it a run up the lane and just clean up the discs and stuff because they're quite. Probably won't be able to see that, but they're quite rusty. I'll show you the back ones. This car's been sitting for a long time. Ugh. Right. It really does amaze me though that this car's done 173,000 miles. It's sat for 6 months and it runs like an absolute sweetie. Blows my mind. It blows my mind. In the big shed next to the M3 because I have abandoned the car in mine because of gas and coilovers. So I'm just going to jack up the corners, make sure nothing's completely hanging off, cut the front wings and the handbrake cable that's dragging along underneath, cut that off. The disc's cleaned up alright, so we've got brakes, the handbrake works. Yeah, pretty much ready. Right. Solid, I think. I reckon we just cut the lip off this. Let's see what that looks like. Certainly more space. I'll maybe just take a wee bit extra off of here. Come on. Oh, lovely. Perfect. Loads of space. Now, just to do the same with the other side, that is a bigger mess. Tidy. Oh, that must have been from the wing the last time. We'll need to change that tyre. It's quite insane. Beautiful. Now just to check the back end and make sure nothing's hanging off, but at least I can be able to steer right into Dodge's door now. Wings done, back end checked, handbrake cable tucked up out the way. I did have to modify my door card a wee bit because I couldn't open and close the door very easily. I also made a new screwdriver holder because it used to keep it in the door pocket. It's just going to sit there for me starting it. Beautiful. Stuck in. What's sticking? Ah, there's a bit of plastic there. Interesting. My throttle cable appears to be sticking for some reason. Where are you sticking? This way. Yeah, I've tucked the handbrake cable up, but I think it's sitting on the prop. And my throttle cable is definitely sticking. I'll need to have a look at that now. Well, I'm done for the day. I can't be bothered anymore. Change some tyres next week. And yeah, ready to go. Probably sort the handbrake. Oh, come on. Sort the handbrake cable out. And change some tyres, sort the handbrake. Managed to get the throttle unstuck with some white grease. I don't have any WD-40, so I'll need to find some WD-40 and cover it in that as well, but hopefully find my coilovers next week. Yeah, and then the next video will be some drifting, and then the one after that will be car talk, spec walk, car talk. Talk about the spec of my car, which was what I was going to do on this video until I found out that my coilovers were leaking, and that put a spanner in the works, because you couldn't really be like, oh look, I've got custom rear coilovers, and show you on the video and they're absolutely pissing oil everywhere. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hit the like if you liked it, leave a comment if you want to ask me something, subscribe if you haven't already, don't subscribe if you don't want to, tell your friends if you do, and take the negative terminal off your battery so it doesn't go flat. See you later.